This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Second and 13. That's complete to John Ross. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Go. Finding Green complete. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Ravens' 45-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Nixon will try the right side. And an alley to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
At the 18-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Watch the safety creep.
2nd and 10. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. He'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 47-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. We're scoreless after 1.
That's it, baby.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Brissett. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for Cincinnati. 63 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run here at Bernard. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And Bullock will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never got a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, Sam off. He's cracked. Check 26, check 26.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down now. It's Williams. He's got the first down inside the 10th. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Travion Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is Ingram, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Play fake, Brissett. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. Flush to his right. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Go, let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
It's 3rd and 9.
Go! Watch the pass. Hey, alert 3. Switch.
On 3rd down, Brissett. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. On 1st down, it's Ingram. And some room to maneuver. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 46 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Brissett. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Bernard. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping is big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Let's go. 10 Tucson. 61. Matchbox lights.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the 3rd quarter. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Ingram again. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on first down. Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw, Brissett. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Tucker's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Trying to get it to Clay that time.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
On first down, it's Ingram, and he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Bengals' 15-yard line.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup, first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They toss to Ingram. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. This is caught. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Now! Hey, let's get there. 50 seconds.
2nd and 4. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Important extra point up and through, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Ingram. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Let's go.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. On 2nd down, Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. 20. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game.